Alright, fellow Slayers, time to tackle the next episode, which is Villains. An ambulance arrives at the Summers house as Xander leaves into Buffy's still body. Meanwhile, upstairs, Willow begs for Tara to return and asks. Willow begs for Willow to return to her and asks in the name of Osiris to bring Tara back to life. A demon appears and denies Willow's request, explaining that the death was natural, so it cannot be undone. The resurrection of Buffy was allowed because her death was the result of mystical forces, but Tara's was a human death by human means. Willow banishes the demon with a powerful scream, causing him pain before he disappears. Xander accompanies paramedics to their truck out front as Will exits the house. He tells her Warren shot Buffy, and she leaves on a mission, while Xander joins Buffy in the ambulance. At the police station, Andrew and Jonathan talk about the fact that they're in jail and debate about whether Warren will be rescuing them. At a demon bar, Warren buys a round of drinks, boasting that he's just killed the Slayer, though none of the patrons knew about the trio. After being asked for details, Warren breaks they discover that getting rid of Buffy just required shooting her in her backyard. Everyone starts to laugh, but quickly finds that they're laughing at him, not with him. They tell him that the news has just reported on a girl. They tell him that news just reported on a girl that was shot in her backyard but survived. A vampire and the demon bartender remind him that Slayer's heal fast. Once she's out of the hospital, Buffy will hunt him down. Willow barges into the magic box and heads for the black arts books, showing at the lights as she moves. Anya, sensing what's happened, tries to stop her. Willow magically binds her from moving. Willow pulls the books off the shelves, sticks her hands into the pages, and absorbs the words into her body. Her eyes and hair turn black. Meanwhile, John returns from school to an empty house and walks to Willow's bedroom, finding Tara's dead body lying on the floor. Warren visits Rex's place, demanding protection from the Slayer. Rex warns him that his biggest concern lies not with Buffy but with Willow. Warren is curious as to why Willow would be after him more, but Rex explains that, while Buffy's alive, another is stone cold. Warren gives Rex all of his money while promising more. Rex agrees to Warren's some powers help him combat Willow, leaving him with the warning that, as powerful as Willow is, there's no guarantee that the protection spells work because Willows are running on pure fury. At the hospital, doctors and nurses struggle to keep Buffy alive, but their job is soon taken over. Willow, now wearing dark clothing, enters the room and makes everyone else leave. Xander watches Willow approaches Buffy's body, which is flatlined, and raises the bullet from Buffy's chest. She magically closes and heals the wound. Buffy wakes up and asks what happened. Willow welcomes Buffy back and tells him that they must hurry to get to Warren. Xander follows Willow's directions as he drives them down a deserted desert road. Buffy tries to reason with Willow about her choice to go after Warren, and that Willow's using magic again. Willow tells Buffy that, if she didn't use magic at the hospital to heal her, Buffy would be dead right now. Buffy admits that is true, but she and Xander remind Willow that she promised them she would use magic again and try and talk her out of the pursuit. Willow then magically takes control of the car and leads it to another road, where an overland bus is approaching. She stops the bus and orders Warren off the bus. He barely manages to beg for forgiveness before she strangles him. Willow then finds that she was tricked and was actually a Warren robot. Willow finally tells Buffy and Xander about Tara's death. The Warren accidentally shot her when he was shooting at Buffy. Buffy and Xander are shocked, but they still plead with Willow not to kill Warren, because it's wrong and will take her to a dark place from which she might never return. Willow says she doesn't intend to return, then knocks both Buffy and Xander to the ground. By the time that they get back up, Willow has vanished. Buffy and Xander return to the house that evening and find Dawn huddled in the corner of Willow's bedroom, keeping company with Tara's dead body. Buffy tries to comfort her sister. The coroner takes Tara's dead body away and Xander sees him out. When Xander and Buffy begin to talk about Willow, Dawn says that Warren deserves to be killed, and Xander agrees with her. Buffy explains that being a Slayer doesn't give her a license to kill, and that the human world has rules for dealing with people like Warren. Concerned for her friend, Buffy wants to let this crisis end without Willow destroying herself, and promises them that Warren will get what he deserves. They plan to find Willow and bring her home, but Buffy refuses to allow Dawn to tag along. Dawn asks to stay with Spike, but Xander gets upset by Buffy's willingness to let that happen. He reminds her of Spike's assault the night before, but she's convinced Spike can't hurt Dawn and he is their only option. In Tara's dorm room, Willow uses her shirt, spattered with Tara's blood, to create a map to guide the way to Warren. Warren does show up at Spike's crypt, finds Clem staying there instead, who tells them that Spike left town late last night. Buffy lets Clem if Duncan stayed with him for a while, and he's happy to have the company. As she leaves, Buffy asks about Spike and his whereabouts if he'll be returning, but Clem can only tell her that he'll be gone for a while. Across the world, in a remote part of Africa, Spike enters the cave, despite warnings from the locals. Inside the cave, Spike greets a demon in the shadows, wanting a change. The demon understands that Spike wants to return to his former self, and does say Spike has what it takes to earn that. Spike is confident that he will earn it, and he demands what he came for if he succeeds. Back at Sunnydale, Xander talks to Anya as she recovers from Willow's paralyzing magic. She feels Willow's cry for vengeance as Xander discovers that she's returned to being a vengeance demon. Buffy soon arrives, and they question Anya about where her loyalties are. Anya tells them that she's willing to help them find Willow, but only for Willow's sake. Trees part as Willow walks through the woods, following Warren. As she reaches a small clearing, Warren sneaks up on her and plunges an axe into her back. She stands up again and removes the axe without apparent harm. Running off again, Warren uses some of the protection spells he purchased for Rack, but none of them were effective against Willow. Willow has Warren bound in defiance, and he promises that he's going to escape from justice and will then return for revenge. Willow realizes that Tara wasn't Warren's first kill, and brings forth a vision of Warren's dead ex-girlfriend, Katrina, which taunts him with comments about how she should have killed him a long time ago. When Warren screams at her, Willow makes Katrina vanish. She tells him that he murdered Katrina because he wanted power over her. All the while, Anya leads the way for Buffy and Xander to reach Willow. Willow says Warren needs to feel what Tara felt when he shot her. She produces a bolt that she extracts from Buffy and slowly penetrates into Warren's chest. He begs for mercy. She describes the damage of the bullet and what it did to Tara. When he continues to interrupt her, Willow has his lips sewn shut. She questions why someone like him gets to live when someone wonderful like Tara has to die. When he's free to speak again, Warren apologizes profusely and tries to convince Willow that she's better than this. As Buffy, Anya, and Xander arrive at the clearing, Willow says, "Bored now." With a wave of her hand, she flays Warren's skin from his body. She engulfs his dead body in flames and it disintegrates. As Buffy, Xander, and Anya look on shocked, Willow proclaims, "One down," before disappearing into thin air. Dun dun dun. So let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. Willow's ascent into darkness over Tara's death is reminiscent of her rage following Glory's attack on Tara 1 year before in Tough Love. In both episodes, Willow turns to the magic box to seek dark arts books to aid her in seek revenge on the one responsible. According to Buffy's monitors in the hospital, she has her third temporary death, following a respiratory failure in Prophecy Girl and her self-sacrifice in The Gift. This episode marks the first appearance of Dark Willow, who takes over the role of Big Bat for the rest of the season. There's a Persona World Turn in Time of Your Life Part 2, Family Reunion Part 4, etc. Warren goes to the same demon bar where Spike took Buffy a life cereal. Just before she kills Warren, Dark Willow says, "Bored now," a repeated line of Vamp Willow. Xander says, "Out of the mouth of babes," after a comment made by Dawn, which is the same line said by the Master after a similar comment made by the Anointed One and Angel, both referring to murder. Anya says to Xander, "I'll help, but I'm helping Willow." And selfless, Willow will try to help Anya in a similar way. In Supersymmetry, the Angel Investigations team also experienced a team member seeking to exact revenge on a human being. Both times someone attempt to stop the person from killing a human being. Ironically, with Buffy's attempts to save Warren's life in this episode, she is the ultimate cause of his death in Less Gleaming Part 5. Certainly, Gun is the cause of Professor Seattle's death. In Return to Sunnydale Part 1, Willow reveals that Warren's family made him a funeral but his skin remains. Everyone believes Warren to be dead. He was quickly revived and kept alive by Amy Madison until be revealed in The Long Way Home, Part 4. So let's take a look at some production notes. Amber Benson is removed from the opening credits. Only one episode after joining them also makes her final appearance in the series. This marks the final change in the main cast lineup. The memoirs by Spoken Luganda, Twainza Kringara, Ariel Motawana, Yamiria Oja Kufa, Yamiria. You can't go in there. It's very dangerous. Stop. You'll die. Stop. After killing Warren, Willow says, 1 down. The implication that there are 2 to go, which is also the title of the next episode. The next episode is the penultimate episode of the season, so it's also 2 to go to the end of the season. The actor who portrays the cave demon, Stephen W. Bailey, previously portrayed Ryan in the Angel episode, Carpe Noctem. Now let's take a look at some pop culture references. When Andrew details his and Jonathan's situation in jail, Jonathan calls him Dragnet, referring to the police procedural crime drama series. Andrew says, "This isn't like Oz, it's like Mayberry." Andrew says that Warren's coming up with a plan, like in War Games that Matthew Broderick used a decoder. He then goes to say that he misses Ferris Matthew, a reference to a character from the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. In Spike's script, Clem watched the movie Meet John Doe. Boy folks say the line, "John, why don't you forget this foolishness?" Clem asks John if she makes the game part cheesy. Clem says he's been dying to see the film The Wedding Planner. And now finally, let's take a look at some goofs. When Willow tortures Warren with a bullet, the size of the bullet changes between different shots. After she skins him alive, there is a bullet hole in the skin of his body, as there should be since it went inside him. Oof. So overall, yeah, this episode is pretty scary, and yeah, I'm kind of scared as to what Dark Will is going to do next. So yeah. So overall, I give Villains 5 vampire steaks out of 5. Anyway, tune in as we take the final episode of the day, 2 to go. So until then, here endeth the lesson.